I guess the estate agent will ask you to put in an offer. This is the part that I hate. I hate estate agents. You know what? I gave up cursing for Lent. Estate agents are just not nice people. I don't like estate agents. For me, as the buyer, the estate agents is always on the seller's side. They're always
That's good to know, actually.
Yeah, they're always on the seller's side. Your mortgage broker and your solicitor, which we'll move on to, those are your people then. You know, they carry you. But estate agents, nah, they're this is the devil's work. Sorry, sometimes, honestly. They can be a real pain. So this is...
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Advice with Alex and Friends, the podcast. I'm your host Alex and I'm joined by my beautiful co-host Novella.
Hi guys.
And this episode is all about home ownership, getting on the property ladder. And I'm going to hand over the majority of the episode to Novella because she has recently purchased a home. So yeah, I think it's been beautiful to watch you on this journey.
Has it really?
It has been. Actually has been. I know it's not been like straightforward and smooth, but like just even our conversation today about like the pace in which things have happened since signing. And like that this Novella has purchased a home how you're supposed to purchase a home. You know, some people, they purchase a home and like they move in, it's like, oh well, we don't have money for furniture. Or, you know, we don't have money like to do decorations. Or, you know, we'll invite you when, you know, you can't see the house just, you know what I mean? Because there's certain things that has to be, there's not the money, there's not the money to do these things, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, she's patterned everything. Like everything is like coming, it's coming on time, you know, all that kind of stuff. So pre, I know was a lot.
Of course.
But post, you're flourishing and thriving.
Yeah. We've done really well post. I can't lie, we have. And I feel like, I don't know if it's because like it's taken so long or whatever, but no, post has been the best part and the most enjoyable. Pre, child.
Yeah.
But it's been a journey. But I'm so grateful and I'm so happy. I am so happy. It was like on one of my biggest things that I wanted to definitely achieve in my life. Not by a certain date or by a certain time or by a certain age, but to just do in my life whenever you feel comfortable, you're able to do. So, you know, I'm really, really, really happy.
No, it's a big thing. Like, it's massive. So take us back from, like, from the start, like, because there are people out there who want to purchase a home and they're, like, overwhelmed or, you know, maybe they think it's not for them because of the way in which the market is right now, interest rates, just the type of properties, and, you know, banks and in terms of their lending, like everything has changed. Like from pre-pandemic to post-pandemic, there's been lots of changes.
Absolutely.
So you are somebody who was looking for a while and you've still been able to get a property within the area that you wanted, right?
Yeah.
So taking it all the way back, what would you say is crucial to have in place for you to start saying that you're ready to look? Yeah.
Definitely have a plan around. Firstly, finances. Money makes the world go round, but money is so important.
Yeah.
First of all, money in terms of one, your salary, knowing how much you can lend and borrow. So you can use different things. They've got so many different like online tools that you can use. You know, there's so many like free brokers that you can speak to that can help plug in your salary and tell you, you know, like 4.5, most banks is 4.5 times your salary and all of that. And when you get that basic information, it helps you plan. So for me, my partner and I started this conversation years and years ago, and we first started it where my workplace, offered like a free mortgage advice. We'd started saving already, like putting money away, and then they offered me like free mortgage advice. So I sat down with a broker, and I told him how much was in my saving, and he was just like, it's either you need to buck up your savings or you might have to move to Scotland or somewhere, because that money you've got saved is not touching anywhere. But it's like those hard realities that you do need to have. And like when he set out and said, like, this is the amount, like, if we look at purchases around your area, like this is how much you're going to need a deposit wise. So I was just like, okay, no problem. Yeah. So it was something to like start working towards, which I found really, really, really useful as well. Another tip I would say as well is, depending on if you're moving in with someone or you're moving by yourself, but I'm going to speak on experience with moving in with someone. Again, that money conversation, you have to talk to them about your finances. Yeah. The banks, in Creole, we say they go pull you waist na door.
Everything will be exposed.
Everything will be exposed, literally. Honestly, and you don't want any surprises. So like beforehand, my partner and I had a real honest conversation. Like, we kind of knew what both of us earned and everything like that, no problems. But we had to speak about like previous debt, if there was anything that was going to come out in the woodwork, because it was going to come out. So we had a really, really honest conversation, so that I was just like, when we go and present to the banks and stuff like that, I just need to know that there's not going to be anything coming out. Don't embarrass me. No. Honestly, if you've got it, just come out now and just say it. Like, let's just get it over and done with. Because honestly, when they do those background checks, it's wild. Like, if you've made, like, for instance, like, there's a funny story where, and I hope he doesn't mind me telling this, where we were going to, he had bought my engagement ring, and this was after we had one property, but this was after that property fell through. So we had to go and get like an updated mortgage in principle. So if anybody doesn't know, a decision in principle is basically where you send over your finances to the bank, and they give you a decision. They give you like a loan amount that you would take when you're viewing houses. So you would have like an amount, like it might say 400,000, and then that's the amount that you can borrow. So when you're looking for housing, and then that normally is like a soft print, which you can take to your house viewings, and then it's essentially that you will possibly be accepted for a mortgage. So it's like a first initial stage. So they said, our poor mortgage broker was going through our documents and our bank statements. And then obviously she saw a large purchase of poor Courtney. And it said, obviously, so she had to come back to us and was just like, there was this purchase that was made. Like, can you explain what it was? And so,
wait, had you had your ring at the time yet or not?
This was after, yes.
Oh, thank God.
I had my ring at the time. Oh, yeah. I had my ring at the time. Yeah, but obviously I didn't know how much it cost. Yeah. So it was just, and we have to send our bank statements together. So bless him. So it was just like that was her engagement ring. And so my mortgage broker was just like, oh crap, I'm so sorry, Novella. I was just like, it's fine. Yeah. But this is what I'm talking about, big purchases. They're gonna they literally circle it and be like, what was this for? Why did you take that amount out? So the stuff like that is like, it's like super funny.
Questioning me about my money.
Yeah, your money.
My money that I work hard for.
Trust. So if you've got secret babes that you're taking her out and you dropped £2,000 in the Louis store, it is coming up. Yeah. It is literally going to come up, and they might ask you. So just be careful.
And how far back do they...
So normally it's 3 months. Okay. Yeah. So normally it's three months. They can ask further, but most times it is just 3 months. So yeah.
So if you know you want to buy a house, you need to get your act together for the next 3 months.
Honestly, for the next 3 months, just have like clean statements. So those were funny things. What I thought was just like, okay, this is actually it's funny, but it's like, like purchasing big items and stuff like that, you are actually going to be questioned on it about your money.
About my money.
Yeah. Honestly, your direct debits that are coming out, you know. So
it's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Also, I think always being realistic in what you can buy and what you can afford to buy, because the bank gives you one amount, which is basically saying this is what you can afford if you this is the maximum amount you can afford. And sometimes that maximum amount looks great on paper, but it's just like once you deduct bills and everything else, like what kind of lifestyle are you going to live afterwards? So although like for us, the place we purchased versus our amount we could borrow was actually a lot less, because I still wanted to have a place but still wanted to enjoy life. So I wasn't going to buy myself like this house on this amount and everything like that, because I knew like we were saving for a wedding, like we wanted to have children. So I was just like, I didn't want to spend all my money every month just paying for a mortgage.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, what can we spend? And that's how we worked backwards. It's like, how much a month can we spend comfortably on our mortgage? And then we can work backwards, and then we can look at, okay, these are the house prices in between that. And we didn't go over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were quite strict, and we were like, okay, this is the criteria, this is it. No, ma'am.
That's good. No, that's really good, to be fair. Like living within your means is so, it's so important, isn't it? Because you don't want to, like, you have this intention of purchasing a home and you look forward to purchasing a home, and then you buy a home that essentially you can't afford. And then the thing that you were looking forward to having now becomes this burden. Like you're crippled by the thing that's meant to be this blessing for you. So
and people get so wrapped up around, like you mentioned, around just having the deposit, and it's just like, well, how are you going to furnish your home? You know, if you're buying, like for us, we bought a slightly cheaper home, but we knew the first thing we needed to do was that we needed the kitchen to be done. So it's just like, okay, we've made savings in that, but do we have money to actually do things up a little bit?
That's what I'm saying, that when people purchase homes, they're, you know, sometimes there's not the do up budget, you know, the do up budget basically.
I know. So and some of the things, like, you know, like when we saw like some TikToks which were hilarious, just around like buying sofas like second hand or in these shops, I'm like, sofa.
Yeah, especially because I don't know the luck that this sofa, I don't know what this sofa has seen, so I don't want to bring I don't want to bring a nonsense spirit into my home. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have,
So it's just those things that, you know, you just need to like be aware about, and like always save a little bit extra. Yeah. It's never enough. No matter how much you've saved, it is honestly never going to be enough.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've said to have those discussions with people. Did you also, so as a couple regarding your home, did you also look at like, okay, God forbid something bad happened, or one of us without of employment, whether you would still be able to afford the home on one salary?
Exactly. Okay. That was exactly a great point. Exactly that point as well. So like when we talked about how much money we'd be able to do comfortably, it's together, but also separately. Like you said, if either of us lost a job, you know, we spoke about, you know, God willing, there'll be a time when I'll be on maternity leave. I won't be getting full pay. So are you comfortable enough for that? And, you know, you both have an honest conversation about those things. I think it was better pre the interest rates going up. The interest rates now are just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, it's just being, like we said, being comfortable that you're able to do that on your own. Yeah. And then like another conversation struck up just around insurance too. It's just like, you know, we want to make sure that if anything was to happen to either of us, that the other person as well would be okay. Yeah.
100%. Otherwise, that's how you end up homeless. We've had this discussion before. We don't want to be like the elders. You know, some of them. Anyway, we won't drag them today. Yeah. We won't drag them today. But no, you're so right. Like having those, I guess, and I guess in terms of the foresight that you had regarding purchasing a home, where did that foresight come from? Was that like active research? Was it things that you knew already?
Yeah, a little bit of both. It was definitely, I've always been so interested around like just home ownership. So there was a lot of research into it, even just down to, as well as even down to getting really good mortgage brokers. Like it makes a world of a difference. Getting mortgage brokers. We went for a little small independent, and they're working. I was very, very, picky when it came to mortgage brokers. I didn't just go for anyone. I actually went for this independent. It's women only, but they're basically working mums.
Okay.
They're called the mortgage mum.
Let me tell you something about working mums, yeah. Working mums are the most efficient workers you're ever gonna find on the planet.
Alex?
They're the most efficient workers that you're going to find on the planet, because they know that there's less time. Yeah. But in that time that they're working,
money have to be.
They're gonna get the job done.
Absolutely.
100%.
And they were so amazing. These are all mums. They're all workers, and they do this like kind of do their like broking like as obviously as their full-time job, but they're just so amazing. Like the service there, that's why I'm putting them out there.
Yeah.
No paid ad here.
What's their name?
The Mortgage Mum.
The Mortgage Mum.
Yeah, they're based in Essex. I'm from Essex. They're based in Essex.
Yeah.
And they're just, honestly, each of the ones that we've worked with, they were absolutely amazing. There's just something, and it's just the above and beyond. Like even when certain things just weren't going right, they just were like super women, as women are. Super women coming in trying to swoop up and save the day, and they, I absolutely love them, and I would 120% recommend them.
Again, yeah. No,
I was so intentional when I was looking for mortgage brokers, and when I saw them, I was just like, something my soul just said, yes, there's something about a working mum. I don't know what it is, but there's something. There's something. They just get it. I don't know what it is, but they just get it.
They understand. And what is a mortgage broker?
So these are the people that you would essentially pay for. I guess if you don't want to, you can apply obviously for a mortgage directly. But if you want a mortgage broker, basically these are the people that kind of work independent from banks, and they help you with basically getting you the best mortgage rate. So they look at your finances, your budgeting. They kind of look at all of that, and they've got access to all the different banks. Depending on what mortgage broker you go to, they've got different access to different banks, and they're able to they do all that sourcing for you. For me, I love a sourcer. If you can source that and I don't have to do that, no problem. And they get the best deals as well. And of course they get a fee. They have a fee, but some of them is fairly cheap. It's quite, it's not a massive amount, I guess, depending on which one you go for. And they're brilliant at what they do, I think.
That's good. So right, in terms of the process then, or the timeline, right? You're saying, okay, I want to purchase a home.
Yeah.
What do you do next? So you've got, would you say you go and sit down with somebody to get that discussion around how much you can afford?
Yeah, definitely do that. Go and have that discussion around, what can I afford first? Rightmove is brilliant, Rightmove, Zoopla, all those places, but those places will have you, if you don't know how much you can afford, it'll have you looking at £800,000 houses thinking you can absolutely afford that when you can't. So you just need to put it from reality.
Not just that, but you get upset.
The
£1 million home I've been watching is now sold. What do you mean?
That was for me.
That was for me.
But just getting an idea from someone, I think, first, and then I think and then making sure, like I said, that they're able to say, you're mortgage worthy, but also other things you can do,
mortgage worthy.
Yeah, mortgage worthy. Yeah. Yeah. Some people aren't. Yeah. Some people aren't, sadly. Some people aren't mortgage worthy. But other things people can do as well. Credit checks.
Yeah.
You can do those. Expedia. do the monthly ones that you can sign
They
up
do.
for.
And if you've got Lloyd's has a free
Lloyd's,
one.
Halifax, if you're going to your online banking, a lot of them now, you can go in for a credit check and it does it within 30 seconds. So you can get a roundabout one. But Expedia is always a great one to have.
Oh, Experian.
Experian,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Expedia,
yeah.
Experian.
Your mind is on travel.
No, all them Amex points. Yeah. yes. Experian is great just to get just to check in to see how you're doing financially. But also mortgage brokers could also give you an idea of what you can do.
Okay. And do they charge a fee whenever you go to see them?
No, so it should be a one-off, as far as I know, it should be just a one-off cost. And that one-off cost is only payable, they only take that off. No. Yes, it's just a one-off fee that they charge at the beginning. But it doesn't matter if your house, let's say your house falls through, they won't charge you another fee for it. That fee will cover you up until your completion, if that makes sense.
So you basically stay with them until you get a home?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How do they make the money?
I don't know. The one I went for, I can't say about other ones.
Okay.
I can only speak about those. So, for instance, although it took us nearly 3 years to find a home, I only ever paid one fee.
Oh, wow.
Since that fee carried me across. Like, I didn't have to pay anything extra.
Is that an expensive fee?
No. Okay. So for us, I'm happy to be honest, for us it's £250.
Okay, that's decent.
Yeah, I think so. Considering, it took quite a while for us to get that £250 as a one-off cost wasn't too bad.
And they basically do the legwork for you, making sure you're getting the best mortgage deals, because I know that a lot of people kind of go with their bank, like, if I bank with, insert whatever bank you bank with, I'm just going to go with them. But that's not always necessarily the best deal that's out there. So you have somebody that's going to lessen the load for you in terms of what you need to do personally to be able to purchase the home and find the best rate.
Exactly. And as well, they've got some great initiatives as well, because some banks have things where they give cash back. Like we got a mortgage where you got a bit of a cashback at the end when you completed. So it's just things like that. Not all banks offer it. So it's just other things incentives that you might be like, oh, actually, if it's the same, but then this one gives me a cashback, then I might just go with that one.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
Yeah.
So a mortgage broker definitely was helpful.
Absolutely.
And okay, so I'm just mapping together the timeline. You've got, you've spoken to somebody, either a mortgage broker or your bank or something like that. You've got an idea of how much money you need.
Yeah.
Okay, now, for example, we've got a deposit and we found a mortgage broker that we like. We've paid them $250.
Yeah.
We've got our deposit ready.
Yeah.
We think we'll be able to keep up with payments on a mortgage.
Yeah.
What do we do next?
We go on House, we go on Rightmove, we go on Zoopla, we go on all those different things, and we just go, that's the enjoyable part. Okay. Go start looking at the houses, whatever you want to buy within that budget that they've kind of specified. And just have fun with it. I think that's a good process always. I really enjoyed the kind of looking at houses and everything. It can be quite overwhelming, but exciting. Have a look, look at different areas. Then when you're looking at houses as well, I don't know what it is for everybody else, look at the area. If it's somewhere like me where I haven't moved out of my area, I know my area, I don't have to look at schools. I don't have to look at crime rate. I don't have to look at where the nearest station is.
You don't have to travel at night.
No, exactly. You don't have to look at all of that because I know the area. But if you're moving, I would just say, I guess if you're moving from one area to another, those are the little things. It's just like, where's your nearest school? Yeah. Where's your nearest bus stop? What's crime rate like? Did
you have supermarkets around?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you
transport? What does transport look like? Are you near a train station? Are you near a bus stop? Or are you near a motorway or something? It's just those little things. The further you go out, of course, the cheaper the house prices are. But, if it depends as well, if you're living in London, if you're living slightly outside, it's just all those factors you've got to take in. So definitely have that. before looking. Have a look. And Rightmove does all those things. It tells you like how far the nearest school is, the Ofsted rating, all those little things if you want to start a family, just so that you're aware how far you are from, I don't know, support system as well. That was one thing that I did. You know, I put a radius on where I was living because I didn't want to go anywhere further than that radius. So I always put in like 0 point something miles. Because anybody moving far from where I was, it was literally. So then you can see how far you would be from there too. Yeah. So that was quite good, yeah.
Okay, so you've viewed your home. Yeah. You want to purchase the home. Yeah. You know, you've fallen in love with it. What do you do next?
So I guess the estate agent will ask you to put in an offer. This is the part that I hate. Okay. I hate estate agents. You know what? I gave up cursing for Lent. Estate agents are just not nice people. Okay. I don't like estate agents. Okay. For me, as the buyer, the estate agents is always on the seller's side. They're always
That's good to know, actually.
Yeah, they're always on the seller's side. Your mortgage broker and your solicitor, which we'll move on to, those are your people then. You know, they carry you. Okay. But estate agents, nah, they're this is the devil's work. Sorry, sometimes, honestly. They can be a real pain. So this is where all the mind games start playing, because you put in an offer, they're always going to be like, yeah, we'll come back, because they've got to go speak to the seller. The seller said, what's your final and best offer? You know, you start playing all those games. So I always say go under what you think you want to go for personally, and then if they come back and they said, actually we need you to go, then you can always go to your maximum, but don't go to your maximum straight away, because this is how you get out. For me, this is how you not get outbidded, but this is how you go over your budget or whatever unnecessarily. So definitely have that at the back of your mind. That's good to know. And be like, just go slightly over. You know what you're gonna do. The estate agents know. You got to start playing the chess game. Like, you say this, I say this, I bluff, and I say, no, that's my final move. They come back. Yeah. And God willing, everything goes away okay. The sellers will come back and say, yeah, we approve your offer. And then this is how we start from the road to completion. Okay. So the seller, you know, you've done your back and forth, you've done your negotiation. Yes. The seller said, yes, we accept. Yes. What happens now? So then you start the full process. You know, you start applying for your mortgage application. Your broker will do that for you. You go and find good solicitors. That is hard to come by. Good solicitors are hard to come by, both sides. Okay, but how do you find what makes a solicitor good? What's the criteria? What questions would you be asking a solicitor to ascertain whether they would be the right one for you? I think look at some of their reviews, look at their contracts as well, look at how long it takes them to deal with completion. How long does it take? You know, some people will say, 16 to 24 weeks and stuff like that, which is average. About 3 to 6 months, I believe, is the average. Okay. So look at things like that. Look at some of the reviews that they've got, both from the buying and selling perspective as well. If you've got any recommendations, I would always go off recommendations. Sadly, at the time we were going through, we couldn't find anyone who could recommend anyone good, because at the time, everyone that we spoke to didn't have good experience with their solicitors. But I feel like that's a general consensus. I feel like solicitors they're hit and miss. They are really hit and miss. Yeah. They're very expensive. Listen, if you know any good solicitors, just comment down below and let us know, Property solicitors, please let us know. Yeah. Like you get the job done. Yeah. So once that's all done, there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Obviously, solicitors, they're going to be doing their own things, paperwork and all of that. And in the meantime, I guess you kind of just wait. It's an awful waiting game. You get asked a lot of questions. They get asked a lot of questions. There's a lot of toing and froing. We had a lot of to-in and fro-in around certain things.
When you say to-in and fro-in,
Yeah.
like, what is this about around, like, what were you negotiating?
So, for instance, items being left in the property.
Okay.
Some people are really nice where they might leave their appliances. Some people might not be so nice and will take their oven out of the kitchen and take it with them, and you say, okay, no problem.
So so there's no...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm speaking from experience. Yeah, some people will take the oven out of the kitchen and say it's not part of the sale price. You just say, okay, it is well. It is very well. It is well. I'm not arguing with you. It is very well.
No,
yeah.
That's like somebody saying, okay, yeah, but I'm going to take the bathtub out, the toilet out, the shower out. No, come on. There's certain things that it's part of the house.
It is.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Where you go?
Yeah, honestly.
Just to be spiteful, because that you might not be able to take that oven and install it where you're going.
Exactly.
You might not be able to do that.
Exactly. Alex, exactly. But what can you do? But it's just around that, just some of the back and forth around just what's going to be left, or if there's, you should go into the property and go and inspect it to see if there's anything looks a bit shaky.
So when do surveyors now come in?
So surveyors come in whenever you want them to come in, basically. I would always say, when you know kind of that things are going smoothly, definitely book for a home buyer's report. But only book for home buyer's reports if you're not buying a renovated house. If you know this is a reno house, that you're going to gut everything out and you're going to rewire everywhere, it's pointless, because they're going to tell you all that stuff anyways, and it's money down the drain. You know you're going to have to do that. But if you're not going for a reno house, we weren't going for a renovation house, then I think a home buyer's report is great. So they go in, they have a look at, damp. They look to see whether the structure. They have a look at any cracks, the underfloor, gas, electricity, all those little things, loft, if you've got a loft, just to make sure that basically you know what you're buying and you're aware of some of the problems that could happen. So they take great pictures. The one we used I can't remember their names, sadly, but they were really brilliant, because they take pictures and they give you like different amber warnings: red, yellow, amber and green.
Okay, what about if it was like red? Do you get to like pull out?
Yeah, you get to pull out up until completion. Until you've signed, you can absolutely pull out. You can actually go back and challenge them and say, I want this fixed before completing. If they choose and say, no, we're not going to do that, you can absolutely pull out. But just be wary that any fees that you have paid towards solicitors, you won't get that money back. So just be a little bit mindful around that.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
We're going to leave that there.
Yeah.
Although we'll probably have like maybe a follow-up episode, I think.
Okay.
But it's good that you shared that experience, because there's a lot of gems that even for me, I've taken away, and I'm sure that lots of other people will take away. So guys, have you purchased your home recently? Recently is the key word. 10 years ago, and even if you've done it like 10, 15, 20 years ago, do you feel like the experience that Novella has just stated, is it similar to yours? Was it more straightforward? What was your experience like with a solicitor? Do you know a good solicitor? Please drop them down below.
100%.
And have you had those honest conversations around finances? I know that it's one of those questions that get asked. When will you purchase a home?
Yeah.
Just like, when will you marry? But we know that it comes with a big financial commitment, and are you honest with yourself and honest with somebody else if it is a partnership that you're looking to undertake in order to be able to purchase a home as well. So guys, we're really excited to see your comments regarding this question. Is there anything that you want to know next time? Maybe we'll pick it up and then we can do a part 2.
Yes.
And in regards to advice, not even what I'm doing right now to make my future self proud, I'm being really strict with my finances so that I too can purchase a home.
Of course.
Super duper strict. And it's not just saving, it's like it really is investing. It is investing.
Yeah.
And I think for me, just like reframing my mind around money, like, okay, like I'm happy to put my money towards this. I'm happy to not spend and, you know, all the time and say no to certain things so I can say yes to myself later on down the line. So yeah, that's one thing that I'm doing personally.
For me, in terms, the only thing that I would probably say is just looking, like you said, it's that one step further. It's just like, okay, what next? A little bit. So it's just like, okay, so I guess putting like a business mind on and saying, you know, is there a way in which you could make, I don't know, your properties make money for you, and looking at investing in properties. But that's something definitely I personally, would definitely like to look into for my future self.
100%.
Yeah.
Properties with Novella. Guys, on that note, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, like and share this with potential homeowners, people that you know are looking to purchase their home anytime soon, or someone who's just purchased their home and see whether their experience matched up with that of Novella's. So guys, on that note, we shall see you very soon. Take care. Bye.